Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I'm your host, Zara, and today we're here in downtown Vancouver at the Bill Reid Gallery, and we're really honored to have with us a very esteemed artist. Today on Location, we have the honor of speaking with a true master of the Haida art, Christian White.
Yes. Kihl Hinurekian, the Haida, Gayalas goes to Dikwalag. My Haida name is Kihl. It means true voice. And what else I said there is I'm from the Raven side. I'm from Masset, and I thank you and welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know it's a very busy day for you and you're here just for the afternoon. So just for our viewers, for over 50 years, Christian Kihl, I'm working on my pronunciation, has been a driving force in preserving and evolving Haida traditions through his breathtaking carvings, monumental sculptures, jewelry, and ocean-going canoes. His work is not just about artistry, it's about storytelling, mentorship, and cultural survival. As the Bill Reid Gallery premieres the first ever retrospective of his work, we sit down today with Christian to explore his incredible journey, the stories woven into his creations, and his dedication to passing down knowledge to the next generation. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. The show On Location in Vancouver is brought to you with the support of STORYHIVE. So thank you. I appreciate you. I was a little bit behind today. The traffic here in Vancouver, a little crazy in downtown. With every guest, sir, who comes on the show, I like to backtrack a little bit. You started carving argillite at just 14 and then became a full-time artist by 17. What drew you so deeply into this art form at such a young age?
Well, I'll just start off. Well, my name is Christian White. I was born on Haida and raised in Old Masset. And so I've been my father, he was a carver, and back in the late 60s, early 70s, so I got to watch him carve, and I got to see the first totem pole being raised in Old Masset in 1969. I was only a small child. And so with that influence in our community, and other neighbors who were working in the arts, and so I got to see the resurgence of the culture and the arts right in my neighborhood. And so that's just something that I was drawn to. And I think one of my earliest pieces in this exhibition was done when I was 12 years old, a whalebone carving, a carving of a seal. And I had totally forgotten about this piece. And later on in my life, my mother had given it back to me and told me I had carved it when I was 12 years old. So there's some very early pieces here in this exhibition, and then also some kind of mid-career, and then some a little later. And then about 26 years ago, I started to train young people in carving.
I handed it over to one of my apprentices and had them finish it. So they put a bit of themselves in it also. Some of the wing design and some of this little face down below.
Your work spans so many mediums, from jewelry to monumental sculptures to canoe building, as you were mentioning. How does each medium allow you to express different aspects of Haida culture?
Well, when I was doing my own work, it was like very few people got to see my work, really. The community never got to see my work. I was mainly working to send my work to galleries in Vancouver, Victoria, Seattle. So, there's very many collectors of my work. I very much appreciate them for supporting me all these years. But at a certain point in my life, I started thinking that I should be giving back to my community. And I carved a totem pole for my father's chieftainship potlatch. And right around the same time, then after that, so that was just a monumental occasion. Really, it was just a really proud moment in my life. And but after that, we started a dance group, a singing and dancing traditional Haida songs, and it was, and it went from there. It went, and my father passed away in 1997. In 1998, I said, I've got to start teaching the younger generation. And so I would just think, okay, what are we going to do this year? So I'm going to raise some money, and I'll teach for 4 months. And so it was just something like, it worked out really well. So I had my first 4 apprentices. We worked for 4 months, and that went great. We created many different objects, paddles, a carved wall panel, and bentwood boxes. And then the following year we did masks. And so it was just something a little bit different every year. And it just built and built and built. So, yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Your father, Chief Morris White, Chief Adensu, was an influential figure. How did his teachings shape your work? And obviously now you're now sharing that with others, and you're the elder now.
Yeah. Well, he had a way to draw people in. Really, he just started working on a canoe, a traditional Haida canoe, and then people just were drawn in, just like a wave coming in, really, and they just wanted to be there. They wanted to be with him, and he had a way of teaching us. Of course, it was only a very short time he was with us. He passed away with ALS, which is a debilitating, I don't know, some kind of a condition that came on quite suddenly, and so it was really a tough part of our life. But of course, we always have to pick up the pieces and move forward. And so I had started a traditional Haida longhouse in 1998. I milled out all the beams. I had a bunch of older guys working with me, and that was fine. They were out of work, and I put them to work and taught them. And then I moved on there, and then I said, next year I'll have the younger people come in with me. And so they were all in their 19, 20 years old, and my first apprentices. And so it was really it was just a natural move from one place to the next, really. And I was really, I look back, and some of them have moved on and have great careers in the arts. Traditional Haida artists, and so.
Your pieces are deeply connected to Haida stories and traditions. Can you share a specific story that's been deeply meaningful to you, and how it influenced a particular piece of art?
Yeah, well, probably the most famous ones along the whole coast here. It's the Raven traveling stories, and the Raven traveling stories it's the longest kind of epic a set of stories, really, and it's just it's so interesting because of he had so many exploits. Some people said that Raven was the creator. He's like a god, wasn't he? And then we say, no, maybe he wasn't quite like a god. He had all the attributes of a human being, good and bad. He suffered from the 7 deadly sins, greed and envy, and just all these things that, that could be thought of as bad. But he also did good. He was like a catalyst. And so as he went along, he was able to transform things and for the better, for humanity. And so, his stories are always endlessly inspiring. And I think we could look back at those stories even today. They're as not even, fairy tales, but, they have a lot of human characteristics really that we can look back on and learn from. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, speaking of art and storytelling, your Raven Transformation Mask from 2022 is a stunning example of layered storytelling. What was the inspiration behind this piece, and how do you see transformation reflected in your work and life?
Well, when I first went to Oxford, England, we were there to, there's 21 of us from Skidegate and Vancouver, Haida people, and we went there to look at the Pitt Rivers Museum in Oxford, and they had 450 objects that were collected from our islands, and every day we'd be given a section, a selection of works, whatever fitted on the table that day. Then we would study them in one room, and then in the afternoon we'd move to another room, and there'd be another collection there. So we're studying through all of these pieces slowly, giving all our commentary. But after a while, we finally came to this piece where this beautiful mask was there, opened up. It was carved by my great-grandfather, Charles Edenshaw, who was also a big inspiration for Bill Reid and many other artists, and he's still an inspiration today. And so at first I thought it wasn't really for a performance because it wasn't hollowed out in the back, wasn't meant to be worn. But then I realized it must have been used to prop up against something. It had a big staple in the back and for a stake to go through into the ground, so someone would be able to hold it still, and then they would be able to make it function, make it open and close. So it was really kind of a revelation, I guess. It's, just that's very intricate and beautiful, and so it was just an inspiring moment to see that transformation. And I think people can transform too. And we do transform as we go through our lives, from a learner, a student, and then after a while a professional, and there's many different ways we could transform into throughout our lives. And a parent, an uncle, an aunt, grandmother, grandfather. So we can all go through different transformations through our life. And I never really set out to be a spokesperson, or it was just something that happened, really. And I always had to sell my own work. I had to go to gift shops, galleries. I had to go knock on doors, and I had to get on the phone and phone people. So I had to sell my work. It was my livelihood to sell my artwork. After a while, after I got more established, and I had people coming to me, and then that's when I had time to spend more time teaching young people.
If you could go back in time and talk to the 20-year-old you, the young artist, like you were mentioning earlier, that in the beginning you were focused on, and I think all artists, like myself included, can relate to the fact sometimes you're doing a job just to make the work, and sometimes we can get stuck in a cycle. Knowing everything that you know now, what would you say to your younger self, or perhaps to someone out there watching who's a young artist starting out and struggling? What advice would you give?
Well, I think it's always great to look at the business side of it, but that's not all of it, though. I kind of wish I worked a little bit more on the business side of it, but I think I was a good businessman, no matter what. But I think the business side is a good thing to know, but the cultural side is, like I think the first part, I was not really that involved with the culture. I learned the stories. I was told the stories. I was raised with the stories, and I studied the stories, and but I wasn't involved with the culture. So now I'm much more involved. It kind of just evolved that way, really, and so. But it feels like I'm a more whole person. So really, it's to become a whole person, I guess. It's and to do that really is you have to go out in the world and meet people, but and just tell them from your point of view, like who you are. And so it's always been I know I'm what you call a extroverted introvert. So
An ambivert, like myself.
Yeah. So, like I never set out to be who I am or to be a spokesperson, but it's just something that turned out that way. And so, so some things are just learned. Some people are naturally, it just comes from natural, but I had to learn more about being confident. And so it can develop though. And so, that's why I like to uphold the youth really. And what they say, the good things come back to you when you give the good things out. That comes back.
Thank you. I believe that's a great place for us to end. Christian, really honored to have you with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time. Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience before we let you go?
Yes. The work that you'll see here is actually a very small portion of my work. I've created many more hundreds, if not 1,000 or more pieces. But I'm very proud of curators that have been able to put this collection together. And also half the work is from my own personal collection. I've been able to amass quite a collection for my Kihl Haida longhouse, the Canoe People's House in Old Masset, Haida. And these pieces are used for ceremonial use at potlatches and memorial feasts. And so it's always, if you ever make it up to Haida, just look me up.
Thank you so much for sharing with us your journey, your wisdom, and your incredible work. And to our audience, make sure to visit the Bill Reid Gallery to experience Christian White, master Haida artist, a breathtaking exhibition running until February 1st, 2026. Until next time, I'm your host, Zara, and the show On Location in Vancouver is brought to you with the support of TELUS, STORYHIVE, and Christian White here at the Bill Reid Gallery. Thank you again, Christian.
House and Deluxe Kingston. I will see you again.
Thank you.